Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Tesla report for Monday, September 12th, 2022. Before I jump in, just want to mention that we're doing the daily Tesla report through the month of September. In October, we will start another daily stock analysis through the month of October. I'm not sure which it'll be. It'll probably be another highly day-traded, active stock, high-volume stock, probably out of the top 10 of the NASDAQ 100. And by the way, wickedstocks.com puts out daily analysis for premium membership. Under $50 a month, you get the daily Triple Q, the daily SPY report, both presented in a very similar format to what you see here with the newsletter and the video format, 5 to 10 minutes in length. We also do weekly S&P 500 analysis, weekly NASDAQ 100 analysis, weekly TLT, that is the U.S. Treasury ETF, the long bond, 20 plus years, all of those in 5 to 10 minute video formats, and 2 individual stock picks a week, all presented in 5 to 10 minute video format, and all for under $50 a month. You should go check us out at wickedstocks.com. Anyway, this is free and it will remain so. And next month, when we continue, a different stock for the entire month of October. Let's jump into the charts. As you're well aware, if you've been following the daily Tesla report from last week, we did test last week and a bit the previous week. This 3-4 month rising channel bottom at 273.35 today. This is a daily chart, and above which the 337.74 channel top is expected still by the end of October, maybe sooner if we get up and over 300.68 today, for instance. But when we were testing 273.35 last week, I'd mentioned how 300.68 was a 2 to 3 week target. That happened in about 2 to 3 days, and we are here right now. 300.68, this descending channel top, able to contain weekly buying pressures. And from here, we can fall back to 273.35 by the end of the week, perhaps. I don't have a sell signal at play. I'm just seeing that we could fill this wedge out all the way through next week before presumably closing above 300.68, and then we're about 2 to 3 weeks away from reaching 337.74, which once again is expected by the end of October above 273.35. 300.68, a meaningful pivot point on the way up, below which we can fall back to 273.35 by the end of next week or sooner. And if we close above it, 337.74 within about 2 to 3 weeks. And that is sort of the big picture. This is really nothing more than a continuation of last week's analysis. Let's talk about the day itself. Since we're below 300.68, easing back to 295.97 is certainly possible. That level can contain intraday selling pressures. And from there, we could rally back to 300.68 on an intraday basis. This is a well-suited for aggressive day traders. If we break 295.97 today, we can fall all the way back to 286.18 perhaps. And that 286.18 is just a trend line off of these highs that we actually settled really right at on Thursday and gapped above clearly on Friday. 286.18, if tested, can contain session weakness. I'd like a bounce off of 286.18 and a settlement above 291.24, which you can see in the minor points here. 291.24 is nothing more than last Friday's low. And if we close back below last Friday's low of 291.24, that is a sign of weakness in itself. If that did occur, that 286.18 trend line would become an intraday or minor point only, because I think the market then would be in reach once again of 273.35 over the next few days. Now, I say that holding below 300.68 will keep 273.35 in reach by the end of next week or sooner anyway. And certainly if we close today below 286.18, I think we could tomorrow, Wednesday at the latest, retest this 273.35 longer-term channel bottom, where once again we can bottom out into October, and above which 337.74 expected by the end of October. Now, I'm going to continue with the downside just because that's where we're at. Let me take a look at a different chart here and show, well, here we go. This is something to be said. 276.83 is this former channel top that was 2 to 3 weeks in the making that we also actually settled above last Thursday. That actually set off the follow-through buy signal to the 300.68 formation, which we are in the midst really now of testing. But if we do fall all the way back over the next 3 to 5 days, just know that this 273.35 to 276.83 area narrowing daily, able to absorb at least weekly selling pressures. And as I say say with regard to the 273.35 rising channel bottom into October trade. Now, if we did close below 273.35, and this is the last thing I'm going to say to the downside, we have a meaningful sell signal, but not of a longer term nature, just for maybe 1 to 2 weeks, which should then take us down to this rising 2/3 speed line that is presently at 253.41. You can see it in the support resistance here. So if we close below 273.35, 253.41 becomes a 1 to 2 week objective. And this in itself is also a meaningful support area. So the way I've been framing it and did much of last week, that we're bullish into October above 273.35, anticipating 337.74. And we really don't turn bearish into October or through October unless we close below 253.31, 253.41, which is rising daily. And if we did close below the 253.41 speed line, then we have about a 3 to 5 week target back to the old lows of May of 206.85. And then I think even more so, whereby we should then continue south. This is the weekly chart actually, closing below. Now this is not labeled properly. 252.79 should be 253.41. But this is a weekly chart and we're far off the market. Will be updated in the next report. If we do close below 253.41, I do think that this channel bottom at 193.67 is likely again within 2 months, 5 to 8 week sell-off back to 193.67. This channel structure, by the way, we did put out Tesla videos at the time, by the way, for our premium members when we were testing this area in the spring, in May, as one that could contain quarterly selling pressures, and that is exactly what happened. And once again, if we were to retest it, it could contain selling through the rest of the year. But that's it for the downside. Let's talk upside now. Back to this 300.68 level. If we happen to push or open today above 300.68, we rallied 10.42 last Friday. We just might do that again, especially if we gap up and over 300.68. And yes, 302.88 and 306.56 are both well suited for aggressive day traders, but I wouldn't be surprised to see 310.67 by the closing bell if we open above 300.68. 310.67 is a longer term 50% retracement, AB, is the actual all-time high from last November against the more recent May low. You can see how it performed pretty well when we tested this area in late July, early August. We pushed through it. The actual high was 314.67. If you look at the support and resistance levels, you see that I have 310.67 as a session containment level. So if we gap up and over 300.68, 310.67 in reach today, where we can place a daily high. And if we settle above 310.67, I think this 337.74 target that's expected by the end of October just might be realized by the end of September. Obviously, on an intraday basis, that 314.67 high, 314.66 high can contain ample intraday activity. But honestly, if we close above 310.67 today, I do think 324.36 is likely by the end of the week, and this 337.74 over the next couple of weeks. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say. I think I've said it all, actually. You can rewind if you need to, but that's it for Monday's Daily Tesla Report. I'll be back again tomorrow with Tuesdays. You have a great day.